Now, in this meditation, our purpose is to learn how to calm the mind. When we get excited or our emotions are aroused, sometimes it gets to a point where we are no longer in the driver's seat, but rather just along for the ride. And we feel this way because a lot of us don't understand how the mind works. We have many components that play a part in our spiraling out of control or remaining in control. When our emotions are heightened, our logical mind is kind of cast to the side. It's almost like it just becomes bombarded and overpowered by feelings. And the only really relevant question is to what degree, of course, because depending on the stimulus will depend on how out of control we allow ourselves to get. So this exercise will allow you to, first of all, identify the triggers and to purposefully and deliberately stop the energy that's fueling the triggers. You do this by consciously being aware of the moment you take your foot off the gas and just allow that emotionally fueled part of you to drive. That moment when you say, oh, I just started to see red, or I don't know what happened, or I couldn't control myself. You're not allowing that moment to be fueled. You are literally stopping the feeding into, and you're cutting off the energy supply so that you never lose consciousness of your actions. Nobody's perfect, and this may not always prove to be effective depending on how strong-willed you are in staying in control. So the first thing you're going to do is try this exercise firstly before you're in a situation when you need this exercise. Because sometimes looking for something to calm you down while you're in that zone, if it doesn't happen in that instance or you don't get it fast enough, you won't really absorb the information. You won't really be in a state to take in all of the info and learn how to properly apply it. So hopefully you're listening to this because you don't want, to have another incident where you fly off the handle or you lose your sense of stability. All right, so this is hopefully, preparing you to act better in situations that you're usually not so in control. So the first thing you want to do is to find a quiet place. Be in a place where you can actually close your eyes and be fully present while we're walking through the steps. Be somewhere where your phone is turned off, maybe, or the ringer is on silent, or where any distractions will not be allowed to interfere with this process we're going to walk through. Once you've found a space where you feel like you could actually be fully present and your mind is completely open to absorb this information, then we are ready to begin. Now find a quiet space. A space where you can completely and utterly focus on my voice and visualize everything that I am going to say. This is a mind calming meditation, and it is a 3-step process. Now, I want you to take a few deep breaths. And the deep breaths will serve the purpose of helping you get into alignment. Get into your body. Focus on your heartbeat. And focus on the present moment. Nothing else matters right now except your complete and utter attention on your body. Sometimes we focus so much on the external that we forget how instrumental we are in creating it. Feeling your body, feeling your impulses, connecting to the very things that give you life, keeps you in the state of control. And it serves to help you remember how small everything is on the outside compared to your world within. And take a deep breath in with me as I count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it. And now breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's do it again. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it. Now breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to do it one more time. And let me be clear. I want you to breathe in through your nose and exhale through your mouth, focusing on every number as we count in and out. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it. Now breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now that we're relaxed, we're calm, we're present, and our mind is under our control because we commanded it to be. The first step in this 3-step process is to get above the situation. I want you to visualize yourself hovering above with a bird's eye view of everything. The purpose of this is to learn how to pull your conscious mind at will out of your current physical body. Doing this allows you to realize how big you are in comparison to the vantage point of your physical body. When we're reacting from a sensory place, we don't have the ability to focus on all the information at once. Getting out of the physical body helps you create a distance between what's happening at a level that is just based on cause and effect, and it puts you in the position to experience all of the surrounding information. You get to see not only your point of view, but also the point of view of everyone else involved in the situation. You realize how big you are. You realize how small, infinitesimally small, this one incident is in relation to the cosmos. And being at this place allows you to remain in control of your actions. It allows you to pick and choose what to react to. It allows you to quiet the noise that surrounds us every day on the physical plane. The noise of expectation from others as well as ourselves. The noise of fear. The noise of excitement. The noise of impulse. Everyone is reacting. Everyone wants to feel empowered. Everyone wants to believe they are right. But when you get above the situation, you get above the ego. You reconnect to source. You fuel yourself with love and understanding. You empower yourself, and by doing so, you realize that you do not need to win. You do not need approval. You do not need to react. You can remain in control because you don't feel compelled to win. Visualize yourself hovering above with a bird's eye view of everything. Your job is to fill yourself with compassion. Compassion for the plights of everything, every living being. Compassion for the experiences of all living beings. Fill yourself with compassion. Fill yourself with empathy and force yourself to see beyond just your point of view and perspective. Now, this isn't to say that you're right and they're wrong, or they're right and you're wrong. This is to help you focus on the reality that there are similarities between all parties. Focus on the common ground. Don't focus on anything that is antagonistic. Focus on the harmony, that both parties want to be okay, that both parties have a life that they want to experience happiness in, that both parties have loved ones that they want to see healthy, wealthy, and happy, that both parties want to go back to their lives and feel as if their peace of mind is restored. Focus on the humanity of it all. Forget about the emotions that arise, which cause pain, anxiety, fear, anger, resentment, and retaliation. But rather, focus on those emotions that inspire closeness, that inspire understanding, that inspire humility. Visualize yourself hovering above with a bird's eye view of everything. And visualize the ending that will bring peace of mind to everyone. The next part of this process is that you're going to think clearly about a state of time before this event stirred your emotions. So, a particularly peaceful time. Put into your mind the reality that your life is much bigger than this very moment. What happens in the moment usually gets magnified because of the other elements involved. So we're feeding off of the energy they're putting into it, and we don't really take a step back to remember that this is something isolated and separate from our lives. This seems like the end-all be-all. And the interesting thing is that the momentum of what we've already set in motion based on, say for instance, if we've had something that was not so pleasant that we've experienced, or a previous situation that made us feel insecure, these previous states that are not so pleasant can play a part in how we're fueling this present moment. Now, on the contrary, if we've had positive disposition beforehand and things were going well, then it could also be something that could maybe diffuse us in that moment and make us realize, wait, you know what? This isn't that big. But we don't want to take that chance and find out in that moment. So if you actively think of a state of time, a state of mind, or period before this event that was peaceful, that brought you joy, that made you feel calm and relaxed, if you actively focus on that moment, focus on that energy, remember how that felt. Remember the freedom that you felt to just rest. Remember that time and the energy that surrounded that incident. There was no fear. There was no threat. Hold on to that. Hold on to that for as long as you can. And try to remove yourself from this sense of urgency to respond to whatever's coming at you. This isn't to suggest that if somebody is lunging at you or threatening you or coming at you with some kind of weapon or making you feel like they will attack you, that you should just stand there and be in this peaceful Zen moment without protecting yourself. Gauge the situation and determine whether or not they are reacting to you or just full-on belligerent and in your face, and regardless of what you do, they're dead set on some kind of activity or some kind of course of action if you are in fact dealing with another person. And if you're just dealing with a situation or you're on the phone and receive some bad news or something has heightened your emotional state in a negative way, than an actual physical presence coming at you, then you have the ability and you have the time to transmute that energy into whatever you want it to be. It doesn't have to be directly how it's coming at you. You have the choice to turn it into something else. And by thinking of a peaceful moment that you've experienced in the past, thinking of something that you love even, someone that you love, or a pleasant experience, or something someone said that made you smile, thinking about laying in the bed, thinking about your calmest moments, it'll recalibrate you. It'll reset your trigger, and it will allow you to then use that space and time to allow logic to come in and give you a sense of clarity. You have the power to do that. Now, step 3 of this process is to visualize the ideal ending to the situation. Fair, non-violent, and one you would be happy with. Whatever that looks like, bear in mind that whatever you envision has power to it because you are empowering it by your clarity. If you envision violence, you're putting that energy out there, and even the thought of it is a form of energetic currency. And energy, concentration, and focus is the fuel of the mind. See clearly in the theater of your mind the best possible outcome to the situation in front of you now. See it resolved. See it over, and see yourself peaceful because of the fact that it is now behind you. I think the most important part in this whole process is remembering that there is life before and life after every event we encounter. And if we can hold that reality in mind while we are dealing with something, it'll keep us grounded. It'll keep our feet planted firmly on the ground. And it'll allow us to think twice about the actions that we take. So try to think about how both parties or everyone involved can have a peaceful ending, can feel like they won as well, and can feel like the outcome is fair. This mind-calming meditation is useful in all areas of life. Remember that step 1 is to get above the situation. Step 2 is to visualize clearly a peaceful state of mind and a peaceful time that brought you joy and harmony before this event happened. And the last part of this process is to visualize the ideal ending to the situation, fair to all parties involved. Once you visualize the ideal ending from the vantage point of being above the situation, looking at all sides, considering all sides, thinking about all possible outcomes, I want you to feel again what that moment feels like. The peaceful ending to a problematic situation. Bask in that harmonious state of being. Be proud of yourself for gaining control over your emotional state. Be proud of yourself for turning down the volume of the outside noise that demands every day for your attention. Be proud of your growth. Now that we've concluded the 3-step process, we are going to breathe in and breathe out. As I count to 5, you're going to breathe in, hold it, and as I count to 5, you're going to breathe out and exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it. Now we're going to breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now breathe in again, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now hold it and breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. An affirmation to conclude our mind-calming meditation is as follows. I am calm. I am at peace. I am unbothered. What a relief. I am calm. I am at peace. I am unbothered. What a relief. I am calm. I am at peace. I am unbothered. What a relief.